I will admit, for the entire year, Rooster Teeth has been in a bit of a pickle with what's been going on there at the studio. That's just making people um, dislike it more and more throughout the year. Like, it has not been a good year for Rooster Teeth at all. I'm going to tell you right now. I've been keeping my head off about it because I'm like, I'm done. You know, I don't see no point. The only thing I'm here for Rooster Teeth is just RWBY, and that's it. But even then, people are slowly losing their interest in it. Like, people who used to review RWBY every year don't even do that anymore. And you see more videos, people bringing out the flaws in it. And I do that too sometimes, but I still enjoy it nonetheless. And plus, I'm already way too deep to really back out now, so I know where else to go. Despite that, I would say I was hoping this episode to be longer, but then again, COVID happened, and a lot of other stuff's happening, so the fact this episode even got out is a miracle, I would say, especially for a company like Rooster Teeth. Now, with this episode, of course, three sides were shown: Salem's side, Ruby's side, and Ironwood's side. Let's talk about Salem's side first, because why not? So, Cinder shows Salem her new associates, and even taking all the credit, and Neo's like, what the fuck? Hey, I didn't screw up. I did my mission. You failed to get your other power, which you were so obsessed with. She stood her nose to the brimstone, and she got the relic. Unlike freaking Cinder, who was too focused on getting more power-hungry woman that she is. And you could diss Neo like that. And of course, there was Emerald. I hate Emerald. I don't really like most of the new looks to the RWBY characters. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't like the new looks at all. You can already know how I felt about this when I first saw John's very, very shitty, crappy haircut. I'm not letting that go, people. John's haircut looks god awful, and despite the fact that John's my favorite characters, I hate how it was. And the color scheme for RWBY in a way is kind of destroyed. I will agree that, especially on Team RWBY. And I did see a video about that, but I'm not trying to be too negative about it. I'm trying to focus on the positive here. But unfortunately, there is no positive because this episode is extremely negative. These people suffered a big defeat that they have suffered since Volume 3. So, of course, they were used to winning for a while, having hope until it was finally destroyed in front of them, but within each other instead of the enemy themselves. This is very interesting. So, of course, Tyrion is always there to gloat. Tyrion loves just trashing on Cinder, and I love it. You call it. Sometimes a villain, a character will not be good. People think that a character needs to be dimensional all the time, needs to be 3D to be enjoyable or loved. Sometimes a character can be one-dimensional and crazy and still be loved. And I think Tyrion is one of those characters. Not much really going on with him, but him and his devotion to his goddess. Which, let's face it, um, Salem can't die. She has a shit ton of power. She existed since the first phase of humanity on that planet. Even went to war with the gods of that world. She's very close to a god, if not one herself. So I can see why he's sipping for Salem. Now let's talk about Team RWBY. They found crap. Well, I forget his name. I feel like it's been so long I forgot his name. Holy crap. Oscar. Oscar, yes. I almost forgot his name there for a second. They found Oscar and they're all back together, but they're kind of divided. One wants to protect Mantle, while one wants to get the project opening to warn the world about Salem. So they're divided on what to do. And all I gotta say is, for this scene, fuck you, Yang. Yang, you have no right to talk, saying, we all trusted you to be in charge, but really things that worked out well. Well, Yang, if I recall from last season, you and Blake blabbered, I think it was just Yang actually, blabbered her mouth off that other useless character, what her name was, Robin? yeah, you blab your mouth off to Robin. You guys were holding in information. You guys were leaking information to people you didn't need to leak off to. You also screwed up. You have no place to talk, Yang. So, Yang, you can shut up. I'm sorry, but I'm guessing the team is finally realizing that handling adult situations aren't as black and white as they thought it was. They said, why not just do the right thing? Well, the right thing is subjective sometimes. And sometimes when you do the right thing in your own eyes, people will see you as a bad person, despite what good you are doing in some ways. You can clearly see that right now within 2020. Everyone has their own perspective on things and thinks what should be done and what shouldn't be done. We can't help that, unfortunately. Now, because of that, the team is divided, especially seeing how now that um see, I am harving Penny becoming a maiden. She seems to be carrying a more of a rebellious personality. She's becoming more and more sentient as time goes on now, which is a good thing and also a bad thing. When you're becoming sentient, but you kind of have the mind of a teenager, you haven't truly fully grown up yet. You were built to be that age, so you haven't really had time to truly adjust to your human emotions. So it'll be a really hard time for Penny right now. So she'll need some space and to clear her mind on some things. Stay focused for a while, thanks to Ruby and her plan. Now, so the team is divided on what they should do. Then we have Ironwood. A lot of people say that, and I agree with too. Ironwood was the best character of last season volume. He really was the best character. You saw this guy who started out without much hope, but then did get hope, building up a team, but then things were going out chaos. People he trusted kind of betrayed him. People kind of screwed up around the place. And he was angry. He had the right to be angry in a way, because people weren't following the orders in a way. And the thing he wanted to do is not done. So he's thinking ahead as a leader should do. Like in war, you can't try to hold a strong front of a dying area for too long. You can send reinforcements to protect the people and evacuate them, but you still gotta move forward with your plan. You can't stay in the same place when you're doing war, especially with someone like Cinder. So despite how we feel like the team is because this is a show, it's unrealistic, there are times where you have to abandon lands. You put people on there. You have to go back and get those people if you may, but it's war, man. You gotta move forward with the next plan. You're dealing with someone who went to war with the gods, for crying out loud. You can't really go back for everyone every single time you drop something. You have to keep going and pick something else up along the way. And then when they saw the council people coming in, I already knew what was about to happen. I already knew it. But then I was kind of disappointed. You only went halfway there, Ironwood. You only shot the guy counselor. Why didn't you shoot the girl counselor too? What is this, a bias? Come on, man. I was expecting to hear that double tap. Like, not just I want to hear 2 taps, baby. 2. I only heard 1. I was disappointed in you, Ironwood. Despite the fact I still like you, because you are a well-made character with a lot of flaws, but yet relatable situations. So of course, I'm just gonna make people feel like, oh no, look at Ironwood, he's becoming a monster. I wonder if I could do that kind of angle. Next, we also have what else? Crow and Robin. I don't care for Robin. Robin was useless. Robin was just in the way. She made things difficult for everyone. I'll be honest with you. I don't care for Robin. Okay, so we're having between Robin. I'm sorry, I don't care. Okay, a lot of people expressed themselves that they thought Robin was a useless character, and I agree. Her ability to see who's telling the truth is pretty useful, but too bad they barely used it last season. They did a little, still. Whatever. Now, finally, let's talk about the new opening. I love the choreography, but it seems like as each season goes on, I don't like the music. As time goes on, I don't know. They don't feel like bangers or slappers like the first 3 volumes had. The first 3 volumes had the best of the music, but for some reason, as time went on, and I'll even admit, Volume 4 and 5 also had some good songs too. But as time's going on, the songs aren't good as they used to be. They're not. I feel like the tone of the song is switching too much, especially when they're showing the fighting instead of they're really doing the anime thing, which is okay, but the song itself just feels. And if you do listen the lyrics and you understand what's going on, it's just not perfectly executed. It's not. I'm sorry, people. The song is just, it's not bad. It's just that I just can't get jiggy with it. You know what I'm saying? So yes, Ruby's here, and I totally forgot if it wasn't me just checking to see if it's up or not. Who would have thought? So anyways, that's all I got for this. I'm still looking forward to RWBY nonetheless. Despite all my yapping of complaints, I still like the series nonetheless. Just not as much as I used to. But maybe it's burnout. But then again, Mad, you still watch Supernatural and it's on its last season and you love the shit out of that. I do, don't I? Maybe because the characters stayed the way they were supposed to, even if they did have some crisis and challenges, they still were the same nonetheless for 15 freaking seasons. Where RWBY itself is on its 8th volume, but the shows and episodes are very short. So the fact that the characters have completely total character changes, and I don't like their outfits, it's a challenge for me. Well, anyways, hopefully things get better from here on out. As long as that volume 5, I'm okay. So anyways, if you can't wait for more RWBY, you like to hear me talk about it, like, comment, subscribe, and of course hit that bell icon. This has been Madcrownxox on anime. Signing out.